Here's a reality check that might make some executives uncomfortable. Over 1 million workers have walked away from their jobs simply because their employers refuse to offer flexible working arrangements. That's not just a statistic. It's a wake-up call that's reshaping the entire employment landscape in 2025. But here's where it gets controversial. While flexibility has become the holy grail of modern employment, the playing field is far from level, and some uncomfortable truths are emerging about who really benefits from these arrangements. The current landscape, a tale of two realities. A comprehensive study conducted by the Chartered Institute of Personnel and Development has unveiled fascinating insights into how flexible working has evolved. The numbers tell a compelling story. An overwhelming 91% of companies now provide some variation of flexible working options. These range from traditional remote work setups and hybrid models to adjusted scheduling and part-time arrangements. Hybrid working arrangements have particularly gained momentum, with approximately 3/4 of employers incorporating these models into their operations to varying extents. What's particularly striking is that 61% of organizations have recognized that promoting flexible options has become a crucial recruitment strategy, essentially using flexibility as a competitive advantage in the talent marketplace. However, here's the part most people miss. This flexibility revolution isn't reaching everyone equally. The research reveals a troubling pattern where senior-level employees are significantly more likely to access flexible working benefits compared to their junior counterparts. Additionally, those working in public service or voluntary organizations face greater restrictions in accessing flexible arrangements compared to their private sector colleagues. The employee experience, benefits, and barriers. The employee perspective paints a picture of both satisfaction and frustration. A substantial 80% of workers report that flexible working arrangements have enhanced their overall life quality, a figure that speaks volumes about the personal impact of workplace flexibility. Yet beneath this positive surface lies a more complex reality. A significant portion of employees express frustration that many flexible working options remain out of their reach. The data reveals intriguing gender-based differences in accessibility. Half of male employees report being unable to access reduced working hours, while 47% of female workers state that working from home during standard business hours isn't available to them. While the study doesn't explicitly address the underlying causes, it's reasonable to assume that job requirements and industry constraints play a significant role in these disparities. Some positions simply don't translate well to remote or flexible arrangements due to their inherent nature. Another concerning finding is that 3 out of every 10 employees feel uncomfortable approaching their employers about flexible working requests. This hesitation is particularly pronounced among employees with disabilities, a group that employers must consider carefully given their legal obligation to provide reasonable accommodations, which could include modified schedules or alternative working arrangements. The research also highlights an unmet appetite for specific types of flexibility, particularly 4-day workweeks without salary reductions and compressed working schedules. These options appeal to employees for obvious reasons. Who wouldn't want the same pay for fewer working days? However, employers understandably harbor concerns about maintaining productivity levels, meeting output targets, and fulfilling business obligations under such arrangements. Employer perspectives, balancing act between benefits and concerns. From the employer standpoint, nearly 1/5 of organizations have committed to enhancing their flexible working offerings within the coming year, recognizing these arrangements as essential tools for both attracting new talent and maintaining existing workforce satisfaction, while simultaneously supporting employee well-being initiatives. Conversely, among employers who aren't planning to expand flexible working options, 20% cite productivity concerns as their primary reservation, a perspective that raises important questions about measuring and maintaining performance in flexible work environments. The legislative landscape has also influenced employer behavior significantly. The Employment Relations Flexible Working Act 2023 established an immediate right for employees to request flexible working arrangements from their first day of employment, leading to a notable surge in requests, particularly within public sector organizations. This legislative change has produced a domino effect. 22% of employers report being more inclined to approve flexible working requests due to the new legal framework. Organizations implementing these changes have observed improved employee motivation, higher retention rates, and enhanced workplace communication. But here's where it gets controversial again. The same legislation has created challenges. According to the research, 56% of employers report that when they cannot accommodate requests, it has generated workplace conflict and strained employee relationships. This creates a difficult situation where legal compliance and business needs sometimes clash with employee expectations. Preparing for future changes, strategic recommendations, the upcoming Employment Rights Bill promises to further strengthen flexible working rights by requiring employers to provide reasonable justification for any request denial, a significant step beyond current requirements, where employers need only cite one of 8 predefined business reasons without detailed explanation. Under the new framework, employers will need to clearly articulate their reasoning and demonstrate why their refusal is reasonable based on specific circumstances. This enhanced requirement may trigger additional requests from employees, prompting organizations to develop more sophisticated approaches to managing flexible working arrangements. Several strategic recommendations emerge for forward-thinking employers. Policy modernization becomes crucial. Organizations should comprehensively review and update their flexible working procedures to align with evolving legal requirements and employee expectations. Awareness campaigns can help maximize the value of existing flexible options by ensuring employees understand what's available and exploring how these arrangements might apply across diverse job functions and departments. Evidence-based decision-making should guide any return-to-office mandates or policy changes, with clear rationales communicated transparently to all staff members to maintain trust and understanding. Impact monitoring systems can provide valuable insights into how various working arrangements affect key metrics, including recruitment success, employee retention, performance levels, job satisfaction, and overall well-being, enabling organizations to identify patterns and adjust approaches as needed. Manager training becomes essential for supervisors overseeing flexible teams. Covering performance management techniques for hybrid workers and effective remote communication strategies. Fairness and inclusion considerations should address potential tensions between employees who can work remotely and those whose roles require physical presence, potentially through role mapping exercises that clearly define available flexibility options for different positions. Carer support initiatives recognize that employees with caring responsibilities often benefit significantly from flexible arrangements, potentially including paid leave options, reduced hours, or home working accommodations integrated into formal policies. Attendance incentives might include office space improvements and commuter benefits for organizations that value in-person collaboration while respecting employee preferences for flexibility. The bottom line, a paradigm shift in progress. By embracing these strategies and maintaining openness toward flexible working requests, organizations position themselves advantageously in the competitive talent marketplace. The evidence suggests that flexibility isn't just a nice-to-have perk anymore. It's becoming a fundamental expectation that can make or break recruitment and retention efforts. But this raises some thought-provoking questions. Is the push for flexibility creating a two-tier employment system where some workers enjoy unprecedented freedom while others remain tethered to traditional constraints? Are we inadvertently widening workplace inequality by making flexibility a privilege rather than a standard right? And perhaps most controversially, are employers who resist flexible working arrangements simply being stubborn, or do they have legitimate concerns about productivity and business outcomes that flexibility advocates are too quick to dismiss? What's your take on this flexibility revolution? Do you believe the benefits outweigh the challenges? Or are we moving too fast toward a working model that might not be sustainable for all industries and roles? Share your perspective, whether you're an employee craving more flexibility or an employer grappling with these complex decisions. Your experience matters in shaping the future of work.